On March 19, 1997, the Fenton Art Glass Company made black stretch glass for the Stretch Glass Society. When we went with Frank Fenton to the production floor, the crew was already warming in the two molds that would be used to make the Twin-dolphin piece. Note that they merely throw away the glass during this warming in phase. After the warming in, a gather of hot metal or molten glass is allowed to drop into the mold. The press operator then cuts off the correct amount of molten glass. This produces what is called a cut-off tail, or what collectors call the straw mark. The press plunger is lowered into the mold, forcing the molten glass into all parts of the mold. The plunger is then withdrawn and the newly molded piece is turned out. The turned out piece is then fire polished. The molded and fire polished piece is then placed into a snap. This is a metal rod with grasping jaws. The snapped up piece is then reheated in a glory hole. Once reheated, the piece is then doped up with a spray of metallic salts, thus producing a shiny iridescence. The doped piece is then reheated in the glory hole where the magic of stretch iridescence is formed. To further enhance the stretch effect, the piece was gently flared. Elsewhere on the production floor, Frank Fenton was working with several of the master finishers to make whimseys. Some pieces were crimped to form the ruffled edge. After flaring, the finisher turned two sides up to make an oval piece. By spinning a very heavily reheated piece and turning one end up and the other end down, a jack-in-the-pulpit shape was made. One finisher flares and pulls up two sides of a piece. Then another finisher, called a handler, applies a shaped and formed gather of hot glass. Notice that the spinning produces a twisted handle effect. Once applied, the handler snips off the glass and impresses his unique mark into the handle bases. Here, another handle is applied with a two-tone gather. Notice that the handler produces a classic bride's basket twist handle. Swung pieces are often incorrectly called stretched vases. Reheated pieces are elongated by swinging the snap like a baton. After the making of the whimseys, for the remaining hours of the shift, the workers continue making our Twin-dolphin pieces. We wish to thank Frank M. Fenton and the Fenton Art Glass Company for their permission to document the making of these 1997 Stretch Glass Society Black Twin-dolphin Comports and whimseys.